Welcome back to some more Carolina Panthers franchise here on Madden 26. We just got done beating the Green Bay Packers 55-34 in yet another divisional round matchup against them to head on to the NFC Championship game, which I believe we already know is going to be against the also very good New York Giants. Now, the thing about this last game is, while yes, we scored very well, the Packers were also not terrible on their own offensively, so if the Giants can find a way to slow us down or we make some mistakes, you never know what could happen. Of course, we had a little bit of a light goal to potentially guarantee another season, and I think at this point, I think the plan is going to be if we are to lose this game or we lose the Super Bowl, that might just be it for the series, and then we move on to another team. I know we have the Packers online franchise. You guys check that out. I appreciate it a ton. But I always like to have an offline franchise going at any given moment. And if we win this Super Bowl, I think we'll do another season. But I think what we'll do is we're just going to sim the regular season, perhaps, and then just play the playoffs in one video. So I'm thinking no matter what, we're down to the last couple of episodes of Panthers franchise. So if you guys have enjoyed so far, and if you really do want to see a full season, again, leave a like, 500 likes on either of the videos. And we will just do a full-on season. Maybe we do like 4 games an episode or something. Either way, let's hop on to that championship round, which again, I think is guaranteed to be against the New York Football Giants. And it is a team that is, by overall, higher than us at 89 overall across the board. We are 89 offense, but only 88 defense, which drops us down to an 88 overall. They went 12-5, so a very good season. The team that was actually on our heels for a while there to steal the number 1 seed could have become a snow game. Who knows? Of course, looking at the players of the week, we got both of them. Maxwell was great. Bryce was obviously amazing. One of the best playoff performances ever, technically. Slater also had a really good game over there for the Raiders. And then Verdon, 17 tackles, a sack, and a pick. Very good there for the Titans, who actually is moved on. It is the Bills and Raiders. So the 1 and 5 seed over there, 1 and 2 seed over here. A little more boring over here on this side. I will say I love being on the NFC because you always get that freaking nighttime game, which we love to see. But in case you are new to this series, you just randomly decided to stumble along, welcome. This is what the team looks like. These are the guys we have out there. McMillan's great. Roman's great. Jimenez has had some moments, especially in these playoffs. Obviously, run game has struggled a little bit, but Bryce has been great. O-line's been solid. Tight end, good. We are playing a really good defensive line this time around, to be fair. And then our defensive line, speaking of, we had a lot of sacks last week, which I was surprised by. Surprised to get the pressure that we did, so hopefully we can keep that up. Have another one of those types of games against the Giants here. Speaking of injuries now, none for us. The Giants, they have a running back, but that's about it. That is not a bad, series of injuries, if you will, to have. We have seen far worse. We now, however, look to the Giants roster. Quarterback Jackson Dart, not the best in throw power, but fast enough to scramble if he needs to. Very accurate to pretty much hit every throw. Scattaboo is their starting running back. Speed is not the best, but powering through kind of is. And even though their backup running back's injured, they have another one that's decently fast to back him up. And then wide receivers Malik Neighbors, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Mac Barker are your 3. Jalen Noel, I feel like, had some moves against us, so a little surprised to see him not as the number 3 is. I think Barker as the 2 makes sense, and Robinson at the 3 is maybe the smarter move. Maybe that's what they have lined up, and they're just showing it by overall. I don't know. Then, of course, the tight end, one of the best tight ends in the entire league, Tom Andrews, 6'6", 88 speed, X-Factor Tom Andrews. Pretty much not a weakness to his game. I mean, that's one of the highest medium route runnings I've ever seen. One of the highest releases I've ever seen for a tight end. Not the best in jumping, and then he's got a juke ability. Is all over the place in the good way. Pretty much 80 everything, 75 to 80. Brad Bryant's a solid left tackle. Colon, good left guard. Nickerson is a good center. I'm not going to say that name again. Center, right guard is very iffy though, and then right tackle, man, that's a tough one. Hard to say, hard to let go, huh? Hard to say goodbye. Abdul Carter, obviously really good. Brian Burns, also really good. I was about to say Abdul Carter's probably dual style, and he is. DT1 and 2 are very good, specifically the DT1. Linebackers, not bad at all. They got some speed with Overshown. Corners lacking in speed a little bit, but they're a good trio of guys. Free safety solid, strong safety solid. Kicker, maybe their weakness, maybe the only weakness. Again, this is a tough team, and I would say probably a more complete team than the Green Bay Packers. So we'll have to see what happens in this one. We're going to get into our weekly strategies, do our upgrades, and then, without any further ado, hop right in. The only upgrade we have is actually still just Frank Dillard, so no one was really close enough to get themselves any upgrade points. The final thing I actually did want to show, though, is the gameplay sliders. These are what we were rocking on last week, and this is what we're rocking this week. And I always do make sure that I import the sliders just to make sure that they're up to date. This is what we're going with. I mean, here we go. All Madden. Those are the sliders. Let's hop on in to the championship round. And here we are at home for the game that decides if we're making it to the Super Bowl or not for back-to-back seasons. Of course, Greg Olsen is out there. Old Faithful himself. Glad to see it. We can't ruin the tradition now. You bang that drum and we'll try to take you to the Super Bowl with us. Of course, like I said, on paper, seeming like a little more of a complete team. Of course, they're the second seed in the NFC for a reason. It seems like the same kind of teams are the best. Packers, Panthers, Giants, those are the three. And we are facing those two teams. We obviously can't face ourselves in this one, as we are going to see who truly is the best in the NFC. As again, those are the three names you always hear. And I gotta say, it's probably not a good sign, but I really don't know the tales of the tape today for us offensively. I have a good idea on defense, what we need to do, but this game on offense, it's just another one of those, as Debo gets a huge return to the 41, another one of those, just see what's open kind of situation. Take what the defense will give you. Maybe that's just the tale of the tape. Don't look too deep. Don't get scripted. Just find an opening and let it rip. On the other side, though, I think stopping Scattaboo, that is the big plan. Slow him down, make him be one-dimensional, and make Dart win the game, as we're going to start the game off with a run, and Hubbard will get about 2 yards. Giants coming out here, putting up some freaking run stoppage early. We probably should have taken that. Lehman, that's a really good throw, and Lehman will come down with a big one to the 36. That was just a tale of, I didn't like the way our run game was going to look on that play. Give me a throw, and Lehman's the most open. As Chuba Hubbard does not get any blocks from McMillan, who has really honestly struggled lately. Of course, he's been amazing. He's been impressive in the receiving game, but as far as blocking goes, he has struggled. We're going to go quick to Lehman, who does get about 5 or 6. Really don't know if now is the time to start hitting the RPO. So with that being said, let's go with the play action the other side. And they're on it. It's a good throw, though, and dropped, but almost picked. Ben Roman, and honestly, I don't remember the last time we were stopped on offense. It feels like we didn't get stopped once last week, and on the very first drive, the Giants are going to force us to kick a field goal, so definitely intriguing to say the least. I don't know what this wind situation is, though, so I'm a little worried about that. I think we should be good, though, and the wind was not going in the way I thought it was, as much as I thought it was, but we still find our way through the uprights for the first points of the game. And what we will have is a pretty good kick. Gets him to about the 4-yard line. You can't really complain about that. And what a shot to the knees to the 27-yard line. And here comes Jackson Dart. Not an amazing season, but an efficient one. Didn't really turn the ball over too much. Can't ask for that much from him. You know, still kind of learning things a little bit. Still young, obviously. Of course, we got some linebackers in. Looks like a run, and it will be a run. They're going to go to the fullback, who, I mean, you kind of have your eyes squinted. You can't really tell if that's Scattaboo or not. Of course, we know it was the fullback, as Scattaboo is now actually in. And I thought that was a read option. Look at the spin from Scattaboo. Oh, my Lord. The first run he has is pretty electric to the 16. Yeah, that's not chill. I think you need to relax there, Scat. Damn Scatback. That sounded derogatory. That's like derogatory for a running back is Wandale Robinson finds his way to the 35-yard line. We probably should have been there. We did like the one cardinal sin we always have, which is if it's a run look for us and we're prepared for the run, if you're going to run in, you might as well finish the play. We kind of just got caught in no man's land because of that. And they're going to throw the underneath there. And Scattaboo is going to break off, but just enough out of bounds to stop the play. Scattaboo starting off pretty strong so far. I don't know how to feel about it. With a double up on, I don't even know who the hell that is. That's Barker, I believe. Double up on a couple of guys, and there goes Trevin. He might not do the job, but he slows him down, loss of 3, and kind of hits him with his own celebration. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that looked like the surfer celebration to me. I don't know. We're looking a little weak on the inside here, but we're bringing some heat. And we're on that. We're just not on that side. A huge hit on the tight end who will still gain the first down. Struggling to get in there. Doubling the tight end again, who I think is their second biggest threat. Which is crazy because I'm not even considering Scadaboo is the number one, even though he's playing well. Huge hit after he hits Huss. Huge. Almost a first down again. Scadaboo probably already having more yards in this game than the previous regular season game we had against them that we destroyed them in. And, oh, that's a big play, as they're going to get their backup running back with a huge stiff arm to the 4. And again, these sliders have not changed in a long time. I don't know what determines what applies them or not, because I always import them every single time, and most of the time it doesn't feel like they're imported. And that's going to be a really good play to the tight end, and we're all over that, but he's just too good to drop it. Of course, we do have limits on and repeats on, so you cannot just run the same kind of blitz and whatnot, as they're going to stack the inside of the fullback. Will be short. They're going to go from the 1. Of course, a QB sneak look. Will we be able to stop it, though? I don't know. This never seems to work for us, and it will continue not to work for us as they get the stop, and then they get the touchdown. You know, I'm not worried, but at the same time, this already has a vastly different feel from the divisional round. As Debo will get a huge return again. Doesn't matter if you actually get it to the pitch, man. It's just that that play seems better. Of course, run game so far looks like they're not going to be giving us much of a chance to try it. I don't actually hate this look, though, so we're going to take this. And we get some pretty damn good blocks. There goes Chuba for about 12. See if we can hurry up to the line and get that play action we were liking. Really good run, and of course they actually put the guys down the line now. Maybe opens up that pass game, especially when they blitz. McMillan wide open, perfect throw. Cuts inside and doesn't really get the room he's looking for, but a huge play to the 23. Not exactly struggling, you know, getting down the field. It's just got to finish. And they're not on that RPO. Ben Roman's going to hit a huge one. Tries to hit a hezzy, slips off the tackler, kind of trucks through him for a gain to the 9. Now, this is not the best play in the world, but there's some looks. There are definitely some looks. And Bryce is going to score. Huge run and outruns everyone just barely enough. The routes are really good, and I think that's the difference. I think if we got locked up like we usually do in some of those looks, they would have had a chance to pull off, but they were so preoccupied getting to their man because, you know, the zig got open. The in, the out. I mean, pretty much everything kind of got open. It's just that the scramble is more open. Crazy wrestling move. I can't remember the Super Bowls half the time. Does that usually happen? I feel like you still celebrate in the Super Bowl, but I feel like you tone it down a little bit. You know, it's the big stage. You got to keep your head in the game a little bit, I think. Unless you're up by a lot, then, you know, troll them. Now, of course, this is the championship round, so pretty damn irrelevant. But still, you know, championship round, freaking Super Bowl, same difference. Really not, but, you know, words are being said here today. We're on that. Oh, dart. Great tackle by Oz, but he does get the slide. We were on it, so, you know, if he didn't slide, we would have had him. So at least we did sort of make the play. It wasn't just him running down. And we're trying to get out there because we know. Huge shot by Siegel. Got to go low on a guy like him. At least he got some players understanding. Okay, what do we got? Trevin going against Wandale. We're not ready for this at all. Is he still going against him? Is it worse? It's Butler. It's even worse. We're going to have to cheat over on this side a little bit. Drags open. Oh, man. It's Andrews, man. He's just too fast. Looking like the end of the first quarter. Maybe they hike it. Who knows? Probably not, though. And they won't. 10-7, but they, in theory, technically, have the lead, as they have, you know, a 3-point deficit here, but they get ball at halftime. But so far, a very competitive one. Very tough. Giants are not a bad team. Again, they are technically a higher overall than us. And we're not going to blitz, and we don't need to. Nick Scorton gets home. Loss of 6. Andrew Thomas beat. I know you're probably thinking this is really stupid to drop everyone back, but my thought process is they're not really expecting it. Maybe they only get a few yards. Yeah, that's huge. Oh, come on, finish play. Yeah, there you go. That's fine. That's fine. Gain of 5, we can live with it. And then now, when you would expect the drop-off in coverage, that's when we're bringing the blitz. We're very sneaky. See if this pays off, though. I got Ringo. Please, Ringo, get there. And it's a quick throw in there. There's no way. They deny him, but it's 4th and 1. These types of games, you usually go for 4th and 1. They're not going to. Very lucky to even catch that ball, to be fair, but it doesn't matter if you're lucky or not. 1 yard to go is high percentage. And with that, they're going to kick a field goal, and they will tie it up. Maybe a little too conservative. We'll see how it plays out. Personally, I am going for that, but At the same time, Giants have played well, so maybe trust them. There's no way we're going to get another one, right? And we almost do. That would have been a touchdown this time, I think. I don't even know who it was. It looked like a linebacker, but they may have just saved a touchdown. Going 5 wide. I mean, this is... Oh, that's predetermined. Thankfully, it's a bad throw. The guy... I don't know. I don't know if that's pass interference. I don't know if it's just bad route running, but it's something I don't like. I'll tell you that much. And that's a tough one. And no way Hubbard holds on. What a guy for 11. I'm trying to run the ball because I got to say this drive so far has been very shaky. And we get a really good run look for Hubbard. Let's turn up to the line and see what they're going to give us. What's the answer here? Okay, they kind of spread him out a little bit more. Roman on the side. Big fella, another missed throw, and they're going to call PI. I mean, that is a little handsy, a little early. I mean, McMillan's a big guy. Got to let that ball at least have a chance. And that's a pretty massive penalty that, again, it's arguable. It is arguable if that was a penalty or not. He didn't need to grab him. That's my thought process in the matter. And I wanted him to cut up field, and he doesn't. But Roman still finds a huge crease to the 15. Luke Musgrave could be our man. Not going to be our man. Oh, no. Throw it. Damn it. And there goes that man. Again, we're relying a little too heavily on this pass game. Not really giving the run game a chance. And that's a touchdown. If he doesn't overthrow him, how do you miss that? We're going to have to settle for a field goal. I mean, there's really not much more to it. That's just unfortunate. Barely gets the screen off. He has a chance. One to beat. And that's a decision. 4th and 2. Man, I don't know. I do like this play quite a bit. This is a play that has a lot of looks. Free play? If we don't get a free play, then obviously we're not going to do it. All right. Mitty Lehman holds on to a tough one, converts the first down into a touchdown, and we regain the lead, but with a much higher score this time of, in theory, 7 points. Had just enough of a look. It's a good throw, which, I mean, there's been a couple of bad throws from Bryce this game, and that was hands down the most open route. I mean, you might have had a look for McMillan on the other side, but yeah, I liked Mitty there, and he was the one that was open. What a clutch catch. Giants trying to get back on this drive, starting with a run. Of course, remember, this is a situation where they score a touchdown. They're still technically sort of in the lead. They have the same score with it. Oh, there we go. Finally, we get one. But, you know, same score with an extra possession. So definitely going to try to keep them out of the end zone mightily here. And we're not on that. Dude, he's just so fast. You get the receiver coming into our zone there, and it's just, what can you do? See if Maxwell gets free. And never mind. Umanmi Yellen beats him to the punch, and there's a sack. There goes the edge. Doing well. Ronnie's going to have to run inside a little bit. And they will run it. Oh, it's a crazy cutback, but Trevin's on it. Obviously, clock means nothing to us. We'll run some man covers. We'll bring Wallace, but considering Scorton for some reason is on Wandale, we might have to drop him. It's actually pretty good coverage, all things. Oh, it's a great comeback route, and that will be a first down. What a throw by Dart. I mean, you still bring 4 in the end. It's just I really feel like we needed the extra help there. And great chase down by Charles. Gain of 4, though. Every damn freaking play. Oh, thought we had it. Can't get back enough, but don't need to. Now Leonard's getting involved. We're doing it. This is the moment. Get those receivers bunched up. Ringo make a play on that man. Speediest on speediest. And he's going to get sacked and fumble. Recovered by the lineman. They won't allow him to progress that. And that will be a loss of at least 7. Into the 2-minute warning. Don't even need to call a timeout. What a play. We should actually went for the squeeze block. It's not too late. Could have, in theory, timed it. And we almost got inside. Where are you going? Tebow, no! Thankfully, it bounced in. What is he doing? If you have a chance to return at least 5+ yards, you take it every time. You cannot trust the bounce to go your way. And there's going to be a hold. I saw that. That guy was mauled. It's going to be a loss of some yards on the holding call. Understandable. Do you play it as aggressively now that you're this backed up? I don't know. We'll see. Try at least one run. And it's pretty good blocking, sort of, kind of. We get 4. You definitely at the least get the clock moving on that first one. And we'll see where we're at. They might want to be the ones calling timeouts. Chuba. I mean, we didn't get great blocking. We got a few, though. 3 yards. Timeout for the Giants. They do like this trail play. Quick throw Jimenez is potentially the move, especially if they blitz. They do blitz. It's a tough one. And Jimenez gets absolutely leveled. That'll be a punt. Huge punt. Puts them all the way at their own 15. But, yeah, probably should have threw that to Jimenez sooner. You know, we said what the read was going to be as Uman gets that ball out quickly because of his pressure. Forces the ball to be out quickly, I suppose. Uman out of the zone. Damn, dude. That speed that he got on that rush. I wanted more of it. Horn going against Scat, kind of revealing exactly our game plan. But if he runs a quick route to the outside there, kind of need him to be there. Huge stop by the DT. And, I mean, there's still chance. Can't say that, you know, oh, they're going to give it up because they might go for it here still. We just want to see if they can sneak a run in. And he's going to take another short look, and that, I think, will be the one that does it. I will say it's tempting to decline it, but I don't think we will. You get that out of bounds, it's another loss of downs, but now we have 3 timeouts. If we want the ball back, we'll get it. That's all that can be said. Time is not really the concern, just stopping them is. And 14 yards a lot. Oh my God, we got hammered. Scottaboo breaking every tackle. Goes out of bounds, I believe. No, he doesn't. Timeout. Surprising to see 3 wide receivers. Obviously, can still run from this, but this should be a run from them. Just, you know, waste more of our clock if you can. Or Dart could make a play. Huge hit, though. Could have resulted in a fumble. And you never know. You might get a decent return here, so we'll at least try it. Other than that, though, probably just going to take the 7-point lead in half. Don't need them getting a tie game off of a mistake. And again, depends on the return as we get really terrible blocking. We got a sweep. Let's see what the hell we can do with this, just in case. I don't know who that play is tricking, but it's not many. As Hubbard will make it interesting. I mean, you have a potential look for Jimenez or the comeback from McMillan, which is doubled. Jimenez is probably your number 1, though. Why is he doing... Oh, my Lord, please. And they smartly got out of bounds. They might have a Hail Mary chance themselves. I didn't really like that. I don't know what I was looking for, but I was hoping he would come back to the ball. It's not a great look. It doesn't really hurt much if they don't get the Hail Mary, but still. Dart is going to... I don't know what the hell that is, but of course Andrew is going to make it look ridiculous again. 9-yard gain on that is crazy. Dude, I don't know how that guy is so good, but he is. Either way, 17-10 at halftime. I believe it is their ball, so you're basically... not quite at square one, but you're not in the worst spot in the world if you're the Giants. And then halftime report, we're going to see who is going to be in the Super Bowl. Looks to be the Bills, if you ask me. Of course, with Josh Allen, you never know. And I swear we just saw that play. And the Bills will win 27-24. They are representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. Of course, there you go. I don't know why they're not showing the Bills as the winners, but here you have Panthers and Giants on the other side. Bills awaiting the results. Of course, again, not the time of day, but sure. The highlights are accurate. Huge move. That was the first run by Scottaboo, by the way. Spins. I think he stiff-armed, cut off someone. We're back to Layman for some reason. Looking at the numbers, obviously we had that pick at the end by Bryce, but Dart having a perfect game. Rushing is pretty similar. Got to get back to that ground game because there has been a couple of looks, yet we are completely abandoning it. And the deep kick, Mr. Kennedy. Of course, defense has played pretty well so far. The ball is deep. Nowhere to go with that one. We said try to limit Scottaboo. We've sort of done that. They've kind of limited himself. Wait, what the hell is this? Oh, God, we're not ready for this. Yeah, that left side's open, but I don't think that's even the guy that we missed. And that is going to be a touchdown, a first play. Now, blown coverage. First play of the half is a touchdown. This guy is ridiculous. Like, he is like Gronk with Vernon Davis speed. Yeah, not the start we were wanting. This is like quite literally now a reset. It's 9 seconds into the, like 11 seconds in the game. You could argue that's a freaking kickoff, and it's tied up again. Like it might as well be the first quarter. It's crazy. This play's good, but we do have a short side, so we'll see what we can do with this. And with Abdul, We actually can get away from him, and Bryce is going to sneak one out. What a play. I did not think he had the speed, nor the angle, nor the stamina to make that play, and he did. Wow. That is simply ridiculous, to be honest. A little zig from Jimenez. See how they play it. And they're going to leave it. Chuba, that's a high throw, but Chuba makes it happen. Gains good 4 or 5. Only negative on that play is the fact that we got absolutely lit up in the process. And we get really good blocking. Chuba get a 7 or 8. Pitch left on the crack toss to ETN. Numbers are, I mean, they're okay. And we get some pretty good looks. And ETN will gain a good 6 or 7. Huh? What the hell even is this? And that's not a bad play. Everything, you know, the motion, everything's moving deep, and Layman's like, hey, hello, underneath. All right, RPO is always dangerous, so we'll see. And it's a DOA. It's a DOA. Oh, no. It unfortunately is a little bit of a DOA. And there goes McMillan. You knew he was going to score. Touchdown, McMillan. We're back on top. Been a pretty damn good game so far. A little bit of back and forth now. More defense earlier than later. And Maxwell, oh, we missed it, but I'd like to think that he made Scadaboo run over there quicker than he wanted. Get one with Uman. And it's going to be another screen. They've been kind of feast on that one. And there goes Scadaboo. Huge shot to the knees. Best way to take down a power back. Guy's been trucking us like no other. Right going against Andrews. I don't love that matchup. And I don't love that matchup as much. I do. I lied. Marcus Rogers on the vast underthrow. I thought it was a touchdown. We'll get an interception. Jackson Dart on the rare underthrow, leading to a takeaway. Let's take a look back at this one. Come on, show it. I thought he had end zone. I thought he had house call. And, again, just didn't put enough on it. And that's a crazy catch. Wow. All right, a massive opportunity here to take a 2-possession lead. Giants came out swinging, and they just missed one there. And there's nobody on him. Hubbard just turns nothing into at least back to the line. 2 guys missing their assignment. That's tough. That is a tough one. Kind of got the stacks on the outside. Looks like, what to say, cover 2, man, and a huge play on the swap, but it's not. Cover 2, just not, man. McMillan, 3rd and 11, maybe. It's a tough one. It's a dot, though. And McMillan holds on. Massive play. You are staring down a punt, my friends. And instead, we are continuing the drive. And the cutback's huge. Chuba Hubbard gets a great set of blocks. And he's going to break one free. Hopping into the end zone. A near 50-yard rushing touchdown. Finally, we break one free. Great call. Great lead blocks. Beautiful. We smell the blood in the water. We're going for the blitz. We're going to try to end this game on this drive. Oh, that was good timing, actually, and we blow it up. Trevin lost it, too. Got to start out strong, but he's just going backwards ever since, so we're not doubling up. Okay, I don't know who we're doubling there. It doesn't really show. We're on the running back, and it's an overthrow. Why are we doing that? We literally got a freebie from them doing that to us, and now we're over here doing the same. Crazy. Crazy. In the blitz. Oh, it's a screen. What the? Wait, what even just happened? Not even ready for it, but their offensive line died. And a touchdown this drive would actually put it away. It's been a hell of a turn of events in this 3rd quarter as Debo steps out to the 35. Again, we're not really in a huge rush. A field goal would pretty much put it away, but also wasting about 5+ minutes would also do a pretty good job of doing so as well. As Blue's going to bounce it. Huge run to the 36. Again, we smell the blood in the water. Play action. They're just going to scramble. We might have had McMillan. Ooh, that's a scary one. But 9 yards is better. Not only is it assuming no fumble guarantee, but you also don't get all the way down the field. You get a little bit more room to waste some more clock. As, oh, wow, there goes Dexter Lawrence. Also don't even hate having Hubbard in on these, or Blue instead of Hubbard, because a little bit better of a receiving back. There goes Layman. It's a little bit of a bad throw. Sadly, this will be coming back, but at least with the first down, it keeps us in the drive because they can't just decline it, you know. They will have to set us back, but at least we get another shot at it. And they read my mind. The blitz is coming. Hubbard should be free. No blitz, actually. That's a really bad look for us, but great blocking. Hubbard stiff arming for a 16 and another first down. Those blocks are great. Usually when you have that slowdown like that, it's a GG. And we're trying to get away. Can't. Damn. Injury timeout. Giants. I mean, we've been running the ball. We've been trying to waste the clock. See how they want to play this? There's Lehman. Stiff arm. Nice. Gets almost the first down. Arguably better. Wildcat touch pass to the fullback is crazy work, needing a yard. And for good reason. The fullback gets knocked down, arguably, by his own guy. I don't know how that's 4th and 2. Did we have the outside? We kind of gave up on it early. We might have. Yeah, we probably would have. I thought I saw the cutback lane. I just did not anticipate Ray being that slow. And unfortunately, just kind of gets tripped up by Robert Hunt. Of course, no matter how you look at this, though, we will be kicking the field goal to, in theory, put it away. I mean, it's not over, but I like our odds up 3 possessions starting the 4th. A couple of highlight plays. That was a massive one, intercepted by Marcus Rogers. Taking away points automatically. 17-point lead now. And, of course, they had a pick, but that's pre-half. They didn't turn it into anything, so it genuinely does not matter. I know your plans. They try to get us to run cover 1. I don't think so, pal. Not tricking me. Cover 4, maybe cover 3. Cover 2 man, of course. I need at least 3 deep blues. Arguably 4. Quick throw outside. Oh, what is that by Horn? Huge hit to the 42. All right, we're going single high this time, but we are doubling. So, I mean, realistically, you're not going to get, what a hit. You're not going to get that look. You would need your inside receiver to make a play, which he could, in fairness. He could cross the face of the defense. The crosser is open. But I like our defense enough to trust it. And, Horn, no. Horn, you bot! We have him on over top, and he just gets burned because Malik Neighbors is very fast. And that's the exact type of play to keep the Giants in this game. Burned. I mean, he's definitely not playing off, but it's J.C. Horn. You're like, okay, that's 1-on-1, mano-y-mano. And we kind of got beat by everyone. Teddy Wright's actually pretty good on Wandale, though. I guess you genuinely do need to just play like 2 deep minimum. And that's, of course, like 2 deep on man coverage. Look at Debo trying to get a spark going. Another injury for number 2, by the way. Got to get that clock moving again. It's been kind of sitting around here a little bit too much for my liking. And we bounce it nicely. Huge block finally for McMillan, and we can get cooked on that hit stick. Blue on the run to the right. Obviously, you got to get that clock down a little bit further. Trying to get that thing down, almost down, 6 seconds-ish, just so they can't time the snap. Do 7 this time. And there goes Jaden Blue following the blocks for 5. One of the better run defense units in the league, actually kind of getting sauced up. And we're going to cut that back in. Blue gets about 3. And I really like how Blue's been running, so we'll run it again with him. And with that, he gets slammed, but gets the first down. Back to the ground this time, Hubbard. Trying to waste that clock. Great cutback. Oh, if we could have got that juke left. Big play by them. Over 100 for Chube. Play action slide. I think that's fine. 2nd and 6. Give it a look. Give Jimenez a play. Motion for Mitty. That's a nice dump off, but he read it. Come on, Jimenez! We're going to give him the yard instead of the fight from the 44. It's a really tough spot to be because you want to get a few yards. And we're going to hand it off on the read option. Chuba fights. Deep field goal. I think you go for it. I like the boot a lot. I kind of want to run McMillan deeper, though, on the other side with the post. They're on it, and hey, they're not really. We could have a big play here. What are we doing? Good move. And just nobody helping him. I know we got a bounce there, but at least we're not going to fumble. If the blocks line up right, I don't know what they're doing on defense here. That's a touchdown. I don't know what we're doing blocking-wise there, but sure. I can't believe they got a piece of that. 5 yards on that look. Kind of criminal. Bobby Okereke. Let's get ETN in there. And there goes Chuba. Getting some good blocks. Bounces it to the 9. Should have maybe fell down earlier. But at the same time, you don't hate where we're looking, right? This clock is pretty much disappeared. And ETN will almost call game to the 1. Roman on the sweep. I imagine Burns gets him. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Roman's going to call game. Ben Roman caps off almost the perfect drive. They're trying to make something happen, but the clock is just not cooperating. You got 40 seconds left. Not much to work on here. Andrews has been great for them, though. Gotta say, they want to trade Andrews off. You know, hey, Lehman's a decent player, but you want to make a sweet little deal with us, we're chilling. Scattaboo gets cooked. They're still hurrying up to the line, trying to save those 2 timeouts for some reason. Not sure why. Turn around. What are we doing, Marcus? He's just protecting the white line. I mean, it's a very far-fetched chance to win this, but 10-point game, you never know. You just never know. Onside kick. With those 2 timeouts, you can definitely get down for a field goal, and then you get one more. But, again, if they don't get this, we're moving on to the Super Bowl. Let's go hands, team. Imagine this ball is going to be popped up, so we need those blockers. And, oh, wow, the wide receiver Jeremiah Green comes up with it easily, and that will win it. 41-31. Giants defense definitely a little more capable of stopping us, but also a couple of those mistakes on offense from the Giants are going to seal it. 31 points is a little not truthful for what happened. 24 was kind of the max they had. Their offense just wasn't really getting enough done. Just that last second kind of garbage time touchdown, realistically. Not even realistic, 100% it's garbage time. Yeah, though, Bryce Young and the Panthers are headed back to the Super Bowl. For back-to-back years, of course, Chuba Hubbard had a little bit of an opening a couple times in that game. Obviously a huge one, breaking that one free. And then receiving game was pretty good. Blocking was good enough against a very elite defense. Or defensive line, I should say. And then obviously they had some moments on offense, especially with Andrews, who burned us multiple times. That guy is talented. Let's take a look, though, at the final stats in this one. You know, interception didn't really matter from Bryce Young. That pick was pretty half. Dart played pretty well. Rushing, Chuba Hubbard was obviously very good. Scattaboo, really good first quarter, and that was kind of it. Bryce, obviously, a couple of big runs there. Looking at receiving, Andrews is insane. Scattaboo has had some moments. Lehman was good with a touchdown. Neighbors had a big play. McMillan, not as good as his usual self, but good numbers anyways. Pass rush, 2 for Monmi. Allen on the sacks. Carter with 1. Gordon with 1. And Leonard Williams with 1. Another big pass rush game for us. Pick for Rodgers and Drew Phillips. And a clean game from everyone else. And we do have a couple of upgrades before we move on. We obviously know all about who our opponent is. We'll leave that one for the next episode. We'll just move on. Or we'll stay at this one for this one. Really good power blocking from Henley, though. And then, yeah, you'll see everything as we go on for the next episode. Pro Bowl and DevUps and all that stuff. But that is going to be it for this one. Championship round completed. A little bit of a closer one. A little squeakier bum time. You know, gotta clench a little bit there. Just be like, hey, whoa, okay, let's relax a little bit. Don't give them a chance. But again, Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl. They've had a few of them recently enough, so, you know, they didn't win it, I don't think, but they were in there. So definitely a team that's been consistently good. And, yeah, we'll have to see what happens against a quarterback that is going to be very hard to keep track of and slow him down. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this one, leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, appreciate the support on the channel. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel, PK Plays for non-Madden content. And that's pretty much going to be it for this one. Not sure if you would have seen a video earlier today. Probably. Packers franchise was yesterday, so rebuild tomorrow? ? Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!